can we start out with a definition of dyslexia as a whole? So someone would recognize what this is, generally speaking, before we get into the specifics.
I think we can avoid needing to define dyslexia. What we're focusing on is whether your child is learning to read at the same rate as other children in the class. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously going to be a matter of degree. So the child might be very slightly behind or greatly behind or enormously behind. So the question is, what's this child, how's this child progressing in learning to read or learning to spell relative to others in the class? And an important point there is all these children in this class are having the same teacher and the same method of teaching to read. So if your child is doing badly, then you've got a child who isn't doing badly because they're being badly taught, because the rest of the children in the class are doing well. So I think that's a reasonable working definition of dyslexia. Is this child learning to read at about the same rate as the other children in the class? If not, why not?
Right, of course. And one of the things that I think we should also talk about is there's layers, right, to dyslexia, and an individual can have one of these subtypes or yes, many of these subtypes. So someone with like a mild dyslexia may just be experiencing one, but whereas a severely dyslexic individual will have multiple problems that need to have interventions.
Yes, well, you said that there are different reasons for someone to struggle in learning to read, and that's absolutely right. Another way of putting that, which I think helps to understand the whole situation, is to say that when you've learnt to read, you haven't acquired one skill, you've acquired several different skills. And so when you're learning to read, you have to acquire all of those skills. And if you're struggling with just one of them, then you won't become a skilled reader. But the kind of bad reader you will be will depend on which of those skills you're struggling with. And that's why there are different types of dyslexia, different patterns. Of course, there's nothing to stop a child having two or more of those, but it's easier to study these if you can find children who just have one problem. And so most of the researchers been looking for children who have just one of these many problems, and then studying what that problem is like, which is not to deny that many children have more than one of these problems.
Definitely.